We often picture narcissism as an impenetrable fortress of arrogance. The person who demands the spotlight, the partner who can never be wrong, the parent who controls everything. But what if the arrogance isn't a fortress at all? What if it's a bandage? Welcome back to Narcissistic Abuse Unmasked. Today we're looking past the entitlement and manipulation to examine how pathological narcissism can develop. We'll use the phrase core wound, a psychodynamic metaphor, not a formal diagnosis, for the unstable self-worth and shame that may sit beneath the defenses. Because to truly understand the abuse, you have to understand the fragile foundation it's built on. First, a quick disclaimer. Having narcissistic traits is not the same as having narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD. NPD is a complex clinical condition that only a qualified professional can diagnose. It involves a pervasive pattern of grandiosity, need for admiration, and impaired empathy. But beneath that grandiose exterior lies a paradox. Clinical research shows that pathological narcissism is fundamentally a disorder of self-esteem regulation. Think of it like a bucket with a hole in the bottom. No matter how much validation, control, or admiration you pour into it, it never stays full. A person may become heavily dependent on attention, status, control, or admiration to stabilize that self-image. When it is threatened by criticism, boundaries, disappointment, or another person's independence, they may respond with rage, contempt, blame, devaluation, or withdrawal. So how does a person become this way? There is no single cause. Research points to multiple interacting influences, including inherited temperament, neurobiology, relationships, and early environment. No single childhood experience causes NPD, and risk is not destiny. In attachment-based and psychodynamic theories, the core wound can take shape when a child's needs for safety, emotional attunement, realistic affirmation, and authentic recognition are repeatedly frustrated. This can happen in a few different ways. Sometimes it's through emotional neglect or abuse. A child who feels invisible, powerless, or constantly criticized may come to experience their authentic self as shameful or unacceptable. Other times it happens through parental overvaluation. A child is treated not as a human being with normal flaws, but as a golden extension of the parent. They are praised for being special or superior, while their genuine emotional needs are ignored. In both scenarios, the child may absorb a devastating message. Who I actually am is not enough.
To protect against shame, helplessness, or rejection, the child may build what psychodynamic theories call a false self, a defensive identity organized around being exceptional, untouchable, or always in control. This false self is everything the child feels they need to be to survive: perfect, invulnerable, superior, and completely self-reliant. Authentic connection becomes difficult because it requires vulnerability, mutuality, and the ability to tolerate imperfection. As the pattern hardens into adulthood, this protective armor can become central to identity. Evidence of being flawed or ordinary may then reactivate the shame the defense was built to avoid. That helps explain why genuine apology, accountability, and self-reflection may become so difficult, and why blame or projection can take their place. A boundary may be experienced not merely as frustration, but as an exposure of the fragile self-image they work so hard to protect. Understanding the core wound of narcissism is powerful. It demystifies the behavior. It shows you that their harmful behavior is not proof of your inadequacy. It may be part of a defensive system organized around their own vulnerability. But, and this is crucial, a painful origin story does not excuse abusive behavior. Many people endure painful childhoods without becoming abusive. You can have compassion for the child they once were while refusing to accept harmful behavior from the adult they are now. You cannot heal their core wound by loving them harder. Lasting change requires their own sustained accountability, willingness, and often professional treatment. That work cannot be done for them. Protect your peace. Set your boundaries. If this helped you understand a confusing pattern, please hit the like button and subscribe to Narcissistic Abuse Unmasked. It helps the channel reach more people who need this information. Stay safe and see you in the next video.